What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Oh man. Okay. What's up? I missed you last week. I'm on live streaming via Zoom again, trying to make this work. My assistant and I are going to be doing things a little bit differently moving forward after this week, but I wanted to try and just kind of run some tests this week. So yes. So what's up? Happy Friday. How are you? I am going to move my thing over here. I can see that I'm live streaming. This way I can see if there's any comments. Make sure to, type in the comments. Say what's up. Tell me how you've been. Two weeks. Oh, let me bring my microphone over here. Well, I guess not really 2 weeks, right? So yeah, not 2 weeks. Oh man, this week it's been a doozy. So, okay, first of all, what's up? Welcome. My name is Ahna Hendrix. I am a spiritual guide, Akashic Record Soul reader, and the host of the Soul Driven Podcast, a weekly podcast where we explore the intersection between living a soulful and spiritual life in a driven and ambitious world. We just celebrated 100 episodes and our 2-year anniversary, back in March. And yeah, such a blessing. So I have been showing up every Friday to kind of just continue sharing, finding ways to help folks out. The monthly Akashic forecasts on the podcast are one of the most popular that we have. And so, yeah, I wanted to show up in another place, be here live, share the Akashic Records with you. They have changed my life. If you haven't listened to that episode, it is episode 100 and highly recommend checking it out. I will be sure to put that one and all the other ones in the show notes as well. After this is totally complete. So a couple of things. First, usually what we do on these weekly things is kind of talk about like the previous week and how it aligned with the previous reading. And of course, we don't have that. But I still I'm really curious to know, like, how was your week? And that would have been the 6th through the 13th. I'm so curious, we had, oh goodness. Okay. So Mercury's gone into retrograde. Jupiter's moved into Aries. My days are running together, of course. Didn't we have, oh wait, maybe the first eclipse was at the very end of April. Yeah. A lot of interesting energy this week. And I'm curious to see how this next week goes. I'm curious to see what it is that the records have to share with us about this upcoming week, as we will be closing out this portal, the eclipse portal, with the lunar eclipse on Monday, actually. And it's a big one. It's in Scorpio. And Scorpio ain't no joke. So I have already been feeling this energy. I'm usually kind of like in the midst of energy before it hits. And then usually by the time it hits, I'm already kind of past it. But this week's just been really intense. So my partner and I took a little runaway vacation last week. We stayed in the cabin in the woods up in Virginia and had a nice time. But I have to say, it didn't go the way that I expected it to go. And I came back exhausted, which may not make any sense. It honestly doesn't make full sense to me, but I had such an incredible time. And I had a really, really huge thing, an upcoming course actually that was channeled through to me. I'll be sharing more about this next week, but and make sure to check out the podcast that's coming out on Wednesday, because that will be very much sharing how this came to fruition. Just, sometimes we're on a path and we're going towards something and we're like, this is where I'm going to be and this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. And I don't know about you, but I love making plans and I love having something to work towards. And one of the things that I was really like full steam ahead was putting out the Akashic course, Access Your Akashic Soul. But when this came through the second night on this getaway, I was sitting in front of the fire, and yeah, it became very clear that there is something I have to do before then. And so again, I'll be sharing more about this with you next week, but definitely check out Wednesday's podcast episode. It's going to be coming up on the 18th to learn all about that. In addition, make sure to check out the May's Akashic Forecast, A Mirror to You. It's a pretty intense forecast, not gonna lie. But there's a lot of wisdom there for us, a lot of interesting commentary, especially about Mother Earth and our connection with Mother Earth and how that is becoming more and more of a theme moving forward. So I highly recommend checking that out. Again, I'll be putting a bunch of links in the first comment section once this is fully done, completed. Yes. So this week for me, since last Friday was, it was supposed to be really a time of relaxation and just kind of finding my ground, finding some center beneath my feet. If you've been watching these, or if you have been listening to my podcasts or follow my blogs on Medium or anything of that nature, you know that I've been going through a very transformative time. It's very much been a death, a rebirth. I'm at the very beginning stages of that rebirth now, but it's been painful. It's been a lot. And so I was really looking forward to getting away, but the relaxation that I got wasn't what I expected. And so when I came back, my partner actually had to leave almost immediately the very next morning for a business trip. And I have been home alone this week. And it really wasn't until Wednesday that I actually kind of had a bit more of my head about me. I was exhausted. Well, I've been exhausted all week, but especially Monday night and Tuesday night, terrible sleep. I've slept very poorly all week. I finally took a sleeping pill last night and like passed out at, I think it was 9:30. It was needed, to say the least. By last night, I was like, forget it. I'm not messing around. I'm not someone who pops pills very often, but yeah. I have had a full week of so much, again, just unearthing, having to really come face to face with this self-doubt, because it's just been like, I came back and I had this whole idea of like how things were going to be when I got back into town, and that, I was going to jump right in and I was going to be working on my course and that I was going to be doing this work and blah, 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 blah. And my mind has just not been about it. Not here, not ready to show up. Of course, it's barely slept. And as someone with ADHD, you may or may not know, but our sleep, what we eat, all of these things are really factor in to how we're able to show up on the day-to-day. And for me, not getting this rest, especially on the back end of not being as rested as I would have liked. Yeah. Monday and Tuesday were just a total haze. And, in the midst of this like struggle of not being fully with it, I was beating myself up because I wasn't fully with it. I was like, trying to whip myself into shape, and so much anxiety. And what's really fascinating about this week in particular is that kind of my horoscope, if you will, astrologically for this week was that I was just supposed to chill. And I didn't want to chill. No, I wanted this week. I mean, it was like, no, last week was supposed to be my chill. I'm supposed to do things this week. I share this with you because sometimes our bodies want to do one thing and our brains want to do another. And it can be really difficult for us. And then we can get really hard on ourselves and things just don't work out. And then we end up losing the gift that was being given to us. Wednesday, I did feel more normal. And by yesterday, I had just kind of surrendered to what is. And today, I'm kind of doing the same. Coming up to this eclipse, I mean, this is in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto is all about transformation. It's also about excavating the things underneath that are holding us back, the things that no longer serve us. It's a huge full moon. And this one for me is hitting my fourth house, which is like a house of family and home and those sorts of things. And so I don't know. I can't even explain to you how I've been feeling. Because I'm still really working on embodying myself and getting in touch with my feelings, like really being able to name them. It's usually not until I'm like kind of over the wave that I can be like, okay, this is what is going on. This is how I'm feeling. Something I'm steadily working towards being better at. So I'm curious to know how this next week is going to be coming up. It's a continual process of surrender on my end these days. So I would love to know how this past week was for you, what sort of energy you felt, like how your relationships were. Mercury went to retrograde on the 10th. So just a couple of days ago. Gosh, we got some big things happening right now. And, Akashic's aside, highly recommend taking your time with communication, with how those things are going for you, because this is the season. This is the season to kind of get off path pretty easily. And something I wanted to share about Mercury retrograde, a lot of commentary out there about Mercury retrograde is, don't do things, don't launch things, don't buy things, don't start things, don't, all these things. And I think that is missing the point about Mercury retrograde. So when Mercury goes retrograde, basically what it does is that it slows way down. It doesn't actually go backwards. It's just that everything else is moving forward. So it kind of looks like it goes backwards, but it's actually just kind of slowing down and then stopping. But in that, Mercury is kind of going, it's chilling out, and Mercury rules our communication. It kind of rules our technology. It's action. It's kind of the workings that like make life work. And it's a really smart thing to say. But anyway, and so when it goes retrograde, what it's doing is like, our communication is everything, right? How we communicate is how we see the world, how we interact with the world. It's connected to our throat chakra, which helps us to manifest, helps us to create. And so everything else is moving forward, yet Mercury is like slowing way down. And so there can be this real weird energy of like feeling more tired, feeling like things are slowing down, but at the same time, really wanting to like do things and like rush in, especially on this one, because like Jupiter went into Aries, and Aries is like super action oriented and like, go, do the thing. And Jupiter's like, yeah, let's make it big. And so you've got like two very opposing energies here. And so in this, when we're in Mercury retrograde, it is a really beautiful time for the re's, like any re-examine, resupply, reconsider, you know what I'm saying? All of the re's. It is a very beautiful time for slowing down. But that being said, life does not stop, whether it's Mercury retrograde or not. Mercury retrograde happens, I think, 3 times a year. It is a normal part of life. And so you're not supposed to stop living it when it is here and hanging out. The better thing to do is just to really be purposeful and intentional about decisions, about conversations before just like making a decision. So, like if you're going to buy a car and you went to a lot and you found the car that you love and it's on sale and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to do it because this feels good. I'm just going to go for it. But then afterwards, you find out that like it wasn't as good condition. It actually, like, the sale price wasn't that on sale. There's a number of things, right? Because you just kind of jumped in and did it really quick. And so honestly, I think Mercury retrograde is here to continuously remind us of how we should be living on the everyday, which is really taking our time to just be like, okay, I need a car. I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go and, I love this car. Oh my gosh, this seems like a great deal. And then, doing our homework, making sure that it's for us, knowing and believing like if this car is meant for me, it will come to me. I don't need to, get into scarcity mindset. I don't need to do those things that are going to potentially prevent me from making a really good decision. Right. I can like talk to a friend who knows a lot about cars, maybe look at like other dealerships, whatever, and look at some pricing and look online and you know what I mean? Doing those things. And especially for someone like me who moves very quickly through life and can be impulsive and all of those things, Mercury retrograde is just a really beautiful time to be like, slow down. Take a breather before you make this decision. I'm going to be launching this course in the midst of Mercury retrograde, but this course is being divinely led. This course is, they shared with me from the get-go, like, you don't need to worry about that. And I have been wanting to run and create this thing all week. And they have continuously slowed me down. So the time just hasn't been here for me to do that yet. And I have to trust. So if you are launching a project, if you are trying to make a decision, if any of those things, please don't feel the need to wait till Mercury retrograde is over. Just take your time, sit with it, think through it, be really purposeful and intentional, and you'll be just fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in today to our reading. My neighbor has been, they're still working on their house next door, and he has been drilling all morning. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm going to be doing this again. And yeah, but thankfully, I think he literally stopped like right almost as I was going through. Okay, I'm just going to pop over to this other thing. Yep, sweet. Again, I'd love to know how your week was. Very curious. Okay. I'm going to put on a bit of tunes here. I have this spider that has arrived in my office about 5 minutes before I went live, and it's a pretty decent sized spider. Of course, I had to Google real quick to make sure it wasn't anything poisonous. And it's just been like hanging out in the same spot. It's like, I mean, it's about this big. I don't know if he's watching me or what's going on, but because of my plants in this room, a couple of them hold a lot of water. I could get like these little gnats in here, which drives me crazy. And so When I see spiders, as long as they aren't poisonous, I'm like, thank you. Thank you, spider. Eat all the bugs, please. Eat all the bugs. But definitely stay over there. Okay. So let's just go ahead and put our hands on our heart. Just find your center. Feel into your breath and into your body. Thinking about where you are at, where you are sitting. Feeling into your chair, sofa, bed, wherever it is that you're taking this in. The records always have so much to bring forward for us and to share with us. In the midst of this channel, just allow yourself to kind of take in whatever it is that pops up for you, that really stands out. Don't feel the need to understand every word, to make sense of it. Just allow yourself to be open, receptive, aware. Knowing that whatever it is you need to hear is exactly what you will hear. Just going to take a minute here and then open up the records and come back to share. Masters, teachers, loved ones, what can you share with us about the week ahead? What is most important for us to know? What are some things that we should be cautious about? Just all things related to this upcoming week. What is our forecast? We gather with you today as many things are taking place on planet Earth. Yes, many things are coming through. Many things are coming to the surface, to be seen, to be felt, to be auctioned off to another lifetime, perhaps on another planet, perhaps during another time. For you have carried so much weight upon your shoulders. Yes, so much weight has held you back, prevented you from feeling yourself the true way in which you are meant to be and show up on this planet for yourself and those around you. Yes, there's been a big disconnect. And of course, there is so much fighting at this time, pulling at each other's necks, one side versus the other. Yes, it is this polarity. That is becoming ever so much more dangerous. Pull your energy back to yourself. Stay focused on your path. Do not feel the need to evaluate others, but trust them to make decisions for themselves as you would appreciate on your own. For it's far too easy to get caught up in what others are doing and forget about your own path. Forget about the things that you need to do to take care of yourself, to take care of those around you, to allow yourself to show up in the world the way you are meant to be. This week, there's going to be so much more opportunity to do this. For the exterior world is pulling and gnawing on you. It wants your attention, and it will do anything within its means to get it. Beckon you to your phone, spring forth with news, have huge happenings, all in an effort to throw you off path, throw you off course. But you must remain firm, grounded, full, knowledgeable, proud and wise, to stay focused on your measly path. The one that looks small and perhaps at times can seem ever so boring, but yet is oh so important. For there is nothing measly about it. No, nothing. You are walking forward into the bright light, and simply by your being here, know that you are one of those who are ushering it forward, ushering us all into that next paradigm. This week will be one of transformation within your relationships, within the things that seek to hold you down. Evaluate them. Look at them for what they are, setting aside your emotion, so that you can determine for yourself if something is aligned or it is not. Do not allow it to continue with you on your path. Make decisions for a brighter future. Perhaps that is another career. Perhaps that is another person. Perhaps it is simply making a few small changes. All of these exist together and are fundamentally equal. Do not second guess yourself. For you are bold and bright, for you are needed at this time. For the work that you do counts more than you could ever know. Even the tiniest of steps makes an impression on those around you. Keep moving forward. Keep your head high. Honor what it is that your body wishes to share with you, knowing that its wisdom is infinite, knowing that it cannot take you to a wrong place. Thank you for being with us at this time. Call upon your spiritual team whenever you are in need. Know that you are never alone. I'd love for you to share how that resonated with you. Anything that came through. Any ways that it hit you. One of the things I was really seeing at the end is that, this is a really important time for us to go within and to lean on God, Source, Universe. We often look to our guides, and our guides play such a huge role in helping us along our path and along this journey, but connecting with Creator, the Creator of all. This is hugely important for us at these times. Yeah, I'd love to hear how this resonated with you. One of the things they were also showing me was just like how much we're letting go of right now. We're exfoliating, we're working through karmas and past lives and energies. And these are heavier times, and heavier times really call upon us to get grounded and get centered. And I often feel like a broken record sometimes when I'm giving like the monthly forecast, because the things that really can make a huge impact in our lives are kind of the things that we often overlook, the things that we take for granted, the things that we might consider to be simple or mundane, or, you know what I'm saying? Like getting outside, like being around children or animals or things of that nature. And yet how important they are for us. I could just really feel into the seriousness of this upcoming week. And, what's so important for us in the midst of these more sort of serious times is to find laughter, is to find ways to not take ourselves too seriously, and also to really focus on self-care. I had a friend kind of share with me yesterday that she was really, really struggling getting in like all of her feels. And it's funny because this friend is someone who said that she doesn't really feel like astrological transits or moon phases or any of those things. And yet it's always quite apparent with what's going on that that's not the case. It's like, I think you're more in tune than you realize. But laughter was the thing that really helped her to kind of move out of it, to move forward, to find her center. And, whatever way it is that you find laughter, don't judge yourself. Maybe you need to flip on the TV for a while and take a break. Maybe you need to scroll Instagram animal reels or like my jam. I love watching funny animal reels. I save them and then I go back and like show them to my partner later, and we just like laugh. And when things are kind of getting too serious sometimes, especially in the evening, he'll be like, let's watch some of those animal reels. And it really does. It just helps to lighten the mood. Where we're currently living, we cannot have pets, but that's something that we really want to have in the future. And, when you're around animals, like, yeah, you just can't take yourself too seriously. I think kids, same thing, but anyway, let me see if there's anything else they really want me to point out about the upcoming week. Or just saying this is a time of gathering within yourself, coming back home. Yeah, and they're really showing me that the shifts that are taking place in the midst of this, that have taken place, and of course are still kind of taking place within this eclipse portal, are not going to be able to fully be felt or understood for months. Yet that understanding is going to be coming to you. So just be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's what they're continuing to show me. And of course, as I mentioned with you at the beginning of this, that is certainly something that I need to do more of just consistently. So I will leave this here and wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend and amazing week. And be sure again to check out the May Akashic Forecast. Please like, subscribe, share if you enjoyed this content, and sending you so much love. And I will be back next Friday. Okay. Woo.